Hello, guys. Just wanted to talk to you about something pretty important today. It's very important. I want to talk about sharpening broadheads and how I do it, and learned a long time ago. Learned some valuable lessons along the way. That in my opinion, there's one way to sharpen a broadhead that is more practical. It's easy, and it works anywhere as long as you have this one tool. It's small, it's compact. You can carry it with you in the woods. I've seen all different kinds of sharpening methods, jigs with angle finders and all kinds of stuff like that. Those are not very practical to carry around in the woods with you. I use this method to sharpen my broadheads at home before I go out hunting. I also carry it with me, and I use it when I'm in the woods. If I shoot an arrow and it hits a rock or something, some broadhead gets a little bit, it hits in the dirt or something like that. This particular tool works great to touch up that broadhead just in a minute or two, and you're right back hunting again. People that carry around a strap-on quiver or even some side quivers or whatever that have like 5 arrows or 6 arrows in them, maybe, or whatever. You don't want one broadhead in there that you shot at something and missed, and now you got one of your broadheads that's not sharp because you're running out of arrows pretty quick. Trust me, I've run out of arrows before in the woods, so it's not fun. Anyway, this tool right here is probably the best, longest lasting tool. It's a flat Nicholson mill file. This is a 12-inch file. It's pretty small, pretty lightweight, whatever, easy to carry. And one way to carry it is stick it in your quiver and just drop it in your quiver. That's one way to carry it. Probably the easiest way to carry it, because you always got it with you. It comes in several different sizes, but this is like a 10-inch. I think this is a 12-inch. The 12-inch is more of one that I would carry with me. I like the little 10-inch too sometimes because it's super light. There's nothing to it. Okay. Reason why I'm touting the file as being my favorite is because it's been used forever. Now, if you've seen videos of Howard Hill and Fred Bear and some others sharpening their broadheads, if you can find a video of them, they're using a file, and there's a very, very good reason for that. Is because a file, when used correctly, creates an edge on that is razor sharp. It will shave hair, but it also creates a kind of a very small, you can't see it with your naked eye, but it's more of a serrated edge versus a honed razor blade type edge. And Howard Hill and some of the other ones, and I've read this stuff way back there decades and decades ago, and I believe it too because I've actually used both types. Okay, the serrated edge, and a friend and I were talking about this yesterday, or day before yesterday, I can't remember, but anyway, we were talking about this, and he agrees with me. The file is the best way to do it. It's practical, it works, and easy. Inexpensive. It's not, one of these $100 $200 plus sharpening systems. It's a $10 or $12 for this file. You can buy 4 of them, keep one in your truck, one in your quiver, one in your Jeep, one in your boat, wherever, and you always got something there to sharpen your broadheads with. But what we were talking about, and the prime example of this was, and I don't remember who it was that said this, but it makes sense to me. You take a serrated steak knife and you take a razor sharp fillet knife, and with equal pressure, you drag both those knives across a bone, and then you set a tomato on the counter and see which one slices through it the best. Okay. Now, a file certainly doesn't make a steak knife type serration on it, but right on the edge of that blade, it certainly is not honed so fine, microscopically sharp, that it does grab and cut and grab and cut, and it stays, in my opinion, stays sharper longer whenever you use it. These guys, when you shoot an animal with a broadhead, it hits hair, then it hits skin, then fat, then meat, then bone, and then by the time it gets to the vitals, you want it to still be sharp when it gets there. You don't want one of these real fine, skinny little very highly honed razor blade type blades, because what happens is it rolls the edge over on it, and if you're lucky, there's enough of that blade still sharp when it gets there to make a mortal wound. My experience with that type broadhead and with these type broadheads over decades and decades, this broadhead stays sharper longer when you shoot an animal with it. I've actually picked one up off the ground that I shot an animal with. It was hanging out the other side, or it was on the other side of the animal, or broke off or whatever, laying in the dirt, pick it up, and it still feels sharp, like razor sharp. So it works, and I highly recommend learning how to do this. Now, that said, there is some learning. There is a little bit of a learning curve to use a file. You can't just pick a file up and start filing on it and make it sharp, okay? All right, this is a single bevel broadhead. All right, typically you do all of your work on one side. All right, and I'll try to demonstrate this. And this is kind of a real quick demonstration. I may make another video of something real close up to help. I see far too many people. I've seen some videos too of people just holding a broadhead in their hand like this and filing on it. Okay, and what they're ending up doing is they're rounding that edge off. Okay, because they're not keeping it even all the way down the broadhead. You want to support this somehow, and what I do is I put my finger on the back side of the broadhead here and put it on a table or something flat, or my leg or something like that, where I can get that angle, all right, and carry that angle straight all the way across. All right, and you want to continue to do that. Now, it takes a little bit of pressure, but not too much. It takes a little bit of pressure. You continue that, okay, and you keep that blade, and you'll be able to see that material start changing colors. You'll see that you're getting it all the way across the edge, all right? And what happens is, now these broadheads are already sharp, so there's really not any reason to file on that much. But just that little bit right there, I can tell, all right, on the back side of the blade, over here where I'm not filing, there's a little bit of a lip. You'll be able to feel that with your finger, okay? That's called a burr, all right? With any sharpening method, you got to have that. You got to get that burr, or you're not doing anything. You're going to sit there and work on it, and you're not ever going to get anywhere. You have to develop a burr on that broadhead before this will work, or any kind of sharpening method will work. Once you get that burr, and you can feel it all the way down on that side, then you turn that broadhead over and gently knock that burr down. Then go back to this side, and you keep going back and forth until that burr is gone. And I can assure you, if you had that burr, that once that burr is gone and you're not getting too hard on the broadhead, you will instantly see how sharp that broadhead gets. Okay, when it's sharp enough to pop hair like that, that's plenty sharp. Now this particular broadhead's got pretty robust blades. It's not a little thin razor blade type blade. Ace broadheads, bear broadheads, Wickies, Grizzlies, all those kind of broadheads will get super sharp using this method, because I've used them all, and I still use them all for that matter. So I would recommend I wouldn't buy a 6-pack of brand new broadheads and sit down and learn on them. If you have an old broadhead or something, I would put it in a vise, put it somewhere where you can secure it, and learn that angle till you get that burr. And after you've done that a few times, it won't take you very long when you can just pick this file up while you're sitting in the woods, put it on your leg like that, touch that broadhead up, and get it good and sharp to hunt with. Very, very practical. Very practical way to keep your broadhead sharp, to sharpen them initially. And I would use it on any animal, any game animal, anywhere. That's how well it works. And don't forget, I mean, some of these guys like Fred Baird, Howard Hill, and some of these other people that use these type broadheads and were sharpening their broadheads that way, these people took animals all over the world using that method. Okay, you can't carry around a toolbox full of guides and all that stuff. Now, I will say this: if you have one of those little folding ceramic things or diamond deals that you touch up your knife with, if you're in the woods and I'll still use a file initially, but there's a couple other ways that you can, if you're at home and you got time or whatever and you want to do it, take a piece of leather like this, lay it flat on a tabletop or something, or some flat surface, and strop it a little bit. That will bring it out even a little more as far as polishing the edge. You've already got a sharp edge on it, but that will polish it a little bit. If you don't want to carry this around, all you really need is a file. But this helps sometimes if you're just that worried about it. Another thing is, I mentioned a while ago, ceramic or diamond. This is a big ceramic stick. You don't want to carry this thing around with you in the woods, but I keep it in my pickup or at home for just that. You know, I'll touch up the blade with it real quick, my pocket knife or whatever, and you can do the same thing with a broadhead. I mean, you know, it's not, you don't have to work it real hard. Just kind of hone it down a little bit, a few 4, 5, 6 times on each side, and that blade's ready to hunt with. I would certainly consider this, because compared to some of the other things that I've seen online, and I even tried a couple of them because I wanted just to see if it was worth changing. You know, I actually went through the process of trying to find something better. I've never found anything better than this. Okay, and I'm about to make a statement here, and it may offend some people. I do not recommend replaceable blade broadheads. I just don't, because most of them, and even some of the expensive ones, the replaceable blades are so thin. Now, they are sharp, you could shave your face with them, but those blades are so thin, if you actually shoot an animal with it and you hit that animal's bones, rib bone, shoulder blade, whatever it is, it's going to destroy those blades. And I've seen it with my own eyes. I've done it before with them, thinking I was trying to improve on this. That was 20-something years ago. You know, some people love replaceable blade broadheads because they don't want to sharpen them or whatever, but you're not going to replace a good solid broadhead. Zwicky, you know, Magnus, Grizzlies, this is a Bowyer broadhead. You're not going to replace those broadheads with, in my opinion, with replaceable blades. These work, they work every time as long as you take the time to sharpen them. Again, I know I'm reiterating myself. It's going to take a little bit of time. It's going to take a little bit of practice if you're not used to using a file or honing something, to get to where you keep that edge straight all the way down that broadhead. Okay, but I highly recommend this. This is something that I carry. It's in my quiver. It's with me all the time. Like I said, I got them all over the place in case I was to drop that or lose it or something like that. Something small like this, you don't want to carry that around in your pocket, obviously, because it's got a little point on it, and you fall on that, you could hurt yourself. But this is even lighter than the other one, and it works the same. I don't know, you could make a little scabbard for it or something or whatever, just to protect yourself from it. But throwing it in your quiver, if you don't use this type quiver right here, there's all kinds of little, you know, like a possibles bag or whatever, you can throw this in it and keep it with you all the time. So you got something to sharpen your broadheads with. While you're taking a break, lunchtime, whatever, you know, just sit down and touch up them broadheads and you're ready to hunt. So anyway, I hope this helps, guys. And I may make another video maybe with some close-ups or something where, you know, you can actually see the edge of the broadhead and me, you know, file on it like that and try to show you the burr and so on and so forth. But you'll get it. I mean, if you practice with this just a little bit, you'll figure it out. Sorry about the wind noise, guys. It's a little bit windy today, but anyway, I hope this helps. I hope you guys try this method. It works, and it's cheap, and it's practical. So hope you guys have some good luck out there in the woods, and y'all enjoy it. Well, I'm going to try to enjoy the rest of this pretty day. The sun's finally out for a change. So if you got any questions or anything like that, or you got some comments about this video or any of my other videos, just reach in the comments down there. Please comment. I try to answer all of them if I can, or at least like them or whatever. And just stay in touch. Subscribe to my channel and share my channel. So there may be some people out there that may be interested in some of the things that I talk about. So hope this helps, and you guys shoot straight, and I hope to see you soon.